Time for another fragrance review. I'm at a really beautiful local park here in Garfield, New Jersey. Nice park. I affectionately call it Duck Shit Park because there's literally duck shit everywhere. It's freaking ducks. I got that wildlife photography action going on right now. Zoom in close. Yeah. A while back, I was at a local Walmart and I noticed a kiosk. It was a perfume kiosk, and there was a bunch of perfumes that kind of looked like some no-name brand stuff at Walmart, and it kind of caught my attention. So what I did is I took a look at some of their bottles, and there was a few testers. I smelled some of them. The brand is called Riche, and I noticed that it's a local company right here in New Jersey. I was like, wow, cool. Well, the company is called Riche, or Jean Riche, and they have a bunch of different flavors, a bunch of different colognes and perfumes. I was mostly interested in the colognes because that's basically what I do. I contacted them. I looked them up on the internet. I called them up and I told them, I said, look, I do fragrance reviews, and I asked them if they could give me a few samples and I'll review their product. Not that long after, I met with them at the Walmart, and they gave me 4 full bottles of their stuff. These are cheapies. They're like $10 each. Just a disclaimer, these I actually got for free. I wore each one of them once, and they smelled very familiar, like, brand name fragrances. Like they smelled like knockoffs. And the representative from the company told me that they weren't knockoffs, that they were actually original. I agreed to do some reviews, and this is going back months, maybe almost like maybe 8 months ago is when they gave me these fragrances to review. And they've been sitting on my dresser all that time, and I wore them once, and there was something about it that just didn't really inspire me to do a review on them, because they just smelled like knockoffs and there was really nothing exciting there. So then some time passed, and then I kept looking at them. I was like, look, I agreed to do these reviews, and I'm gonna do these reviews. So here I am now doing these reviews a lot later than I thought I would do it. I want to stay objective with my reviews. I don't want to shill their product just because they gave it to me for free. Even though it's probably going to hurt my chances of ever getting any other free product from any other company again, I still have to keep some integrity and just give you guys a straight 411. The first cologne, it's called Black Legacy. It's a decent presentation. You can see that's what it looks like. Let me get the thumbnail, I guess. I'm going to review 4 of these. So this is what it looks like right here. And just looking at it, you could tell just the black and silver bottle shape, the bottle shape, and the black and silver bottle. It reminds me of a fragrance that this smells very close to. Actually, it smells identical. This is actually a very good clone of Mont Blanc Legend. So yeah, this is a clone of Mont Blanc Legend. Even though the representative company told me, hey, these aren't clones, these are originals, this is 100% without a doubt a Mont Blanc Legend clone. I've worn it a couple times. The longevity on it is actually very good. There's a very syntheticness to it. Yeah, Mont Blanc Legend itself is very synthetic, but it's very close. It actually smells a lot like the original, and it lasts just as long. So this is definitely a decent clone of Mont Blanc Legend. It's called Black Legacy Pour Homme by Jean Riche. That's the box. Nice presentation. Cheap knockoff $10 cologne that actually smells like a good knockoff. Okay, that's the first one. Next up, it's called Instinct. This one's called Instinct. And just by looking at the bottle and the color scheme of it, does also remind me of another very popular fragrance. And lo and behold, I don't know if that reminds you kind of something, but not exactly. I mean, this is kind of squarish, but this is a clone of Invictus, Paco Rabanne's Invictus. Just look at the color scheme, the color of the juice. This smells a lot like Invictus. That got that sweet Invictus vibe. And this is also a really long lasting. This lasted a long time when I used it. Yeah, it lasted like a good 12 hours. It goes for about $10. And for $10, it's definitely worth it, in my opinion. It dries down nice and powdery, just like Invictus does. It's sweet like Invictus. It's got that same aromatic vibe. Okay, next up is, this one is called Genesis. You know, I wore it and it smelled extremely familiar. Genesis, here's the box by Riche. Jean Riche. This kind of like titanium and clear bottle. It kind of smells like, a lot like Gucci Guilty. This is a Gucci Guilty clone. It's got that orange and lavender and patchouli. So it's a very citrusy, fresh summertime cologne, and this also performs very well. The original, if I remember correctly, the original was not a very great performer. This one actually performs pretty good, at least as good as the, it lasts at least as long as that, probably even longer. It's a Gucci Guilty clone. It's called Genesis by Riche. It's got the woody patchouli at the base, very citrusy, more heavily, I would say, more on the orange citrus than the actual lemon, because there is some lemon in this. A $10 clone of Gucci Guilty. So if you like that fragrance, you could give this one a try. And now last but not least, this one right here, this one is Valiant Man by Riche. And just by looking at the shape of it, it kind of resembles that bust, that Jean-Paul Gaultier bust. This right here is a Jean-Paul Gaultier La Malle clone. And as soon as you take one sniff of it, right away you realize it's a Jean-Paul Gaultier La Malle clone. You know, it really smells true to the original. You know, I wore it and it's just really, it's a great performing clone. This is a great performing clone of La Malle. And this one projects like La Malle. It's a strong projector. The first hour, an hour and a half, this is going to be pumping out fragrance like crazy. And but it settles down. Once it settles down to a skin scent, heavy lavender and vanilla. All the other notes kind of disappear. Like there's no citrus, and the mint and the woods, they kind of just disappear, and what you're left with is just a really heavy vanilla and lavender and powdery, just like the original. You know, the original La Malle is known to be very powdery, and this is no exception. And it's probably because of the lavender and the soapiness from the lavender. This is a good clone of La Malle, you know. And I'm sorry, but the rep told me that they're supposed to be originals. I was excited about that. But just on smelling them, I realized that they are all actually, all four of these are clones of very popular fragrances. They're at the Walmart in Secaucus, New Jersey. I don't know if they're at all Walmarts. I doubt it, but they are on the Walmart website. So you can buy them off the Walmart website. They have other flavors too. They have other ones that they did not give me. They just gave me these four to review. I spoke to the guy and he told me about his company. The company is called Trinity Parfum. They're in Hillsborough, New Jersey. And they say they have an agreement with a company in France where they actually get the fragrance oils from, and they mix them over here in New Jersey. And the company in France that they get their oils from is called Bellevue Parfums. They're like the fragrance oil makers, and they mix them here and they market them as these Jean Riche. Actually, when I first saw it, I googled Jean Irish because I thought it said Irish, and I couldn't find anything. I figured out later that it was Jean Riche. So they're made in the USA. The representative from the company said that they use oils that are imported from France. This is the first time any company's given me something for free. They're definitely knockoffs. They smell a lot like the fragrances that they're cloning. As far as the quality of these juices, you know, they smell very close to the original. They project pretty well. They last a long time. I think, you know, comparing them to other clone companies like Cuba or Playboy, I think they're about at that level as far as the quality of the juice goes. Hey, and anybody else out there want to send me free shit? Bring it on, man. I'll review it. I'll review the hell out of them. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll smell you guys later.